So in day 4, we will continue with course outcomes, then attainment of course outcomes for a particular course. So in our previous session, we discussed about so how to map course outcome with program outcome, then course outcome with program specific outcome, then along with their matrices, followed by mapping levels, then attainment process of course outcomes. So with that knowledge, now we will continue with the computation of course outcomes of a particular course. So now in this, we will continue by reviewing the assessment pattern, then a computation of CO with direct attainment, then computation of CO with indirect attainment, then computation of CO overall attainment. Then after completion of calculation of attainment of a particular course, then CO corrective measures for that particular course based on the attainment results. Okay, just again, as usual, we have to remember the POs, the 12 graduate attributes. So as the base, what we considered: PO1 engineering knowledge, PO2 problem analysis, PO3 design and development of solutions, PO4 conduct investigation of complex problems, PO5 modern tool usage, PO6 the engineer and society, PO7 environment and sustainability, PO8 ethics, PO9 individual and teamwork, PO10 communication, PO11 project management finance, PO12 lifelong learning. Then sample PSOs what we considered for computer science related program: foundation of mathematical concepts, then foundation of computer system, then foundations of software development. Then you can recall one particular course what we used as the model during our FDP. So here one course with 6 outcomes what we discussed in our previous session. So same example is considered here. Then for that particular course, related POs and PSOs, then followed by their matrices, where we discussed in our previous session. So in this now, you can remember the average weighted value for each and every PO. So PO1 weighted average is 2.67 and so on, PO12 1.67. Then similarly PSOs, the weighted averages, whatever the values here, 2.67, 1.67, 1.67. Okay, now let us come to CO attainment. First, we have to consider assessment pattern. So as for the process where we discuss, so having 2 methodologies, one is direct attainment and second one is indirect attainment. Direct attainment consisting of internal examination marks and end examination or university final marks, whereas indirect attainment based on the feedback taken from end of every semester or every year, that we will call it as course end semester feedback. So here one sample weightage is considered for direct attainment and indirect attainment. As for accreditation manuals, what they suggested, the distribution of the weightages for direct and indirect attainment, so that depends on your university marks distribution or your university evaluation process. That means internal how many marks are there, external how many marks are there. So generally what they mentioned, 90-10 or 80-20, then or 75 to 25, like that. So that depends on by considering if your results are good, your institute average results are good, so at that time you can take more weightage for direct attainment. So then indirect attainment you can take remaining, so like that. So here ideally, so we have taken one sample for a direct attainment, 90% is considered, then indirect attainment 10% is considered. With this distribution, now the formula is created for calculation of CO attainment. So for direct attainment we are having separate formula, for indirect attainment we are having separate formula. Then for final attainment by combining direct and indirect attainments. Now as for direct attainment, so let us assume 90%. So this 90-10 are not fixed, that depends on your institute level has to decide, so commonly. So then every faculty has to follow the same distribution. So let us take direct is 90%. The assessment tools for direct attainment, in our last session we discussed various tools. So this is one theory course we have considered. For theory course, what are the various tools? Internal examination with midterm test 1 or midterm test 2 based on your university evaluation pattern. Then finally end examination. So here in this example, what are the course we have taken consisting of 2 midterms. So mid 1 and mid 2 with 25 marks distribution each. Then mid 1 again divided into 3 components, that is objective test for 10 marks, assignment for 5 marks, then descriptive test 10 marks, that depends on question wise COs mapping. Similarly, mid 2 also, the total weightage is 25. Then here average of mid 1 and mid 2 is considered for final internal evaluation as per the university regulations, what we are following. Then for end semester examination, 75 marks are there. Total 25 plus 75, 100 for theory course. Then for indirect attainment, only the feedback responses needs to be collected. Based on that, we have to calculate indirect attainment. Now we will see one by one with the sample course what we considered. Okay, now here let us see the formulas for computation of first overall CO attainment in the course or for a particular course. So for overall 90% of direct CO attainment plus 10% as a percentage of indirect CO attainment. So 90% is 0.9 into whatever the direct CO attainment value for a particular CO plus 0.1 into, that is 10%. So whatever the particular CO, indirect CO attainment value. So like that, we have to calculate overall CO attainment. Now again, the direct CO attainment is calculated separately. So for that, the formula is computation of direct CO attainment in a course or for a particular course. So direct attainment in the assessment pattern, you can see here internal and external combination is there. Now here the weightage is reverse. Why? Because internal having less weightage, external having highest weightage. So suppose here 25, 75, some universities, some institutions may follow as per the marks distribution as it is. So 25 is the internal weightage, then 75 is the external weightage, or 20, 80. So or some PG programs, they're having 40 internal marks, then 40, 60, like that. So you can justify based on university evaluation pattern. So here I have considered, so 20% is for internal attainment, then 80% is for end semester examination marks. So now we have to calculate internal examination attainment separately. Yeah, from that we have to take 20% weightage. Then for end semester examination attainment, we have to take 80%. For example, internal examination attainment value is 1.5. Then 0.2 into 1.5 plus, then end semester examination attainment value is 2.7, then 0.8 into 2.7. So then we will get direct CO attainment value. For every CO, we have to calculate separately using this same formula. So then after CO attainment is computed, then we have to compute indirect attainment. That after indirect attainment is over, then you have to calculate overall attainment by using 0.9 into the direct CO value plus 0.1 into indirect CO value. That is the overall CO attainment of a particular course. Okay, now the following table shows all the consolidated formulas and patterns for CO attainment. So now here course outcome for a particular course, whatever the course, so all the COs are considered. So then course outcome attainment level from the internal assessment. So depends on here whatever the components we considered, that is mid 1 plus mid 2. So by considering this along with mid 1 objective plus descriptive, then assignment also included, the 3 components together. So then the final course outcome attainment value, let us assume A1. Then course outcome attainment level for university examinations, external examinations, let us assume B1. Now by using this A1, B1, now the formulas are defined here. So CO direct attainment of a particular course, so can be taken. So CO direct attainment here, what is the formula we used? 20% of internal exam plus 80% of end exam, 0.2 into IE plus 0.8 into end exam. So now for a internal, what we considered A1, so 0.2 into A1 plus then end exam 80%, 0.8 into B1. You can substitute these values. So this formula you can apply for here. We mentioned CO1 for this course, first CO, like every CO, you can replicate this formula. So then coming to indirect attainment. So how to compute indirect attainment? The formula is, so here indirect attainment, what it contains, students responses based on the feedback. So for every CO, students may answer with 1, 2, 3 level combinations. So now here the formula is defined based on that levels. Now the formula equal to 1 into, here we are assuming it as D1. So 1 into X plus 2 into Y plus 3 into Z whole divided by X plus Y plus Z. So where 1, 2, 3 are the levels. So for every CO, we are having the levels which are combination of 1, 2, 3. Now X, Y, Z are number of students answered with level 1 for a particular CO. Then Y is number of students opted or answered with a particular level for that particular CO. Then Z is number of students opted with level 3 for that particular CO. Then whole divided by total number of students. So attempted level 1 plus number of students attempted level 2 plus number of students attempted level 3. So X plus Y plus Z. This you can take it as denominator. So now here X is number of students opted for option 1, that is low. Then Y equal to number of students opted for medium option or moderate, that is 2. Then number of students opted for higher level, that is 3. Now here assumed as Z. So here 0 is not considered here, only 1, 2, 3 only you need to consider in this formula. So this is the formula for computation of indirect attainment. So now here we got CO direct attainment is C1, then indirect attainment, let us assume D1. So now overall attainment, what we assumed as per the weightage, so 90% from direct attainment, then 10% from indirect attainment. 0.9 into direct attainment value plus 0.1 into indirect attainment value. So as for that, the formula is here C1 is the direct attainment and D1 is the indirect attainment. 0.9 into C1 plus 0.1 into D1. So this table shows all the attainments like direct attainment, indirect attainment, then overall attainment. This you can make it as master table. So as for your institution distribution, suppose your CO direct attainment you changed 30 to 70, then 0.3 into 0.7, then 40 to 60, 0.4 into 0.6. So like that you can customize this formula. Then indirect attainment, anyway, same formula we have to follow. Then overall attainment also here 90, 10 is taken. Some may be considered 80, 20 or 75, 25 like that. So whatever the criteria you are considering, so use those percentage values in this formula. Okay, now coming to CO direct attainment. Now for CO direct attainment, first let us fix the target levels. So in our previous session, we discussed it for theory course, how we have to set the target levels based. Okay, now for the theory course, so the attainment levels needs to be set as per the threshold value. So what we discussed in our previous session as the sample. So threshold value, so here we have taken 60%. So for objective and assignments are combined here. The reason objective contains multiple choice question and fill in the blanks. For question wise, so it is difficult to do the calculation. Whereas assignment also we don't have standard format, that that is depends on faculty choice. Some faculty may give one case study, some faculty may give 2 to 3 questions, some faculty may give some mini project like that. So different versions are there. That's why commonly we have taken total marks. Suppose if your institute or university assignment also you are following standardized in the similar descriptive pattern, then you have to do assignment also in the descriptive test COPO mapping type. Question wise CO mapping pattern you have to follow. So for understand here I have taken the combination of objective 10 and assignment 5, total 15 marks, the 60% threshold value. So then you will get 9 marks. Suppose greater than 9 marks. Based on this, the target levels are set here. So 60 to 79% of students scoring more than 9 marks together in objective plus assignment, then you can make it as a level 1. So minimum we have taken 60. So then 80 to 89. So whoever secured more than 9 marks in together objective plus assignment, that is the level 2. Then 90 and above. So here we set it as level 3. So these levels also based on your subject, it is easy or difficult, so or moderate. Based on that, you can fix the target levels. Then for a descriptive test, here theory questions are there. So for 10 marks, now for this also 60 percentage. So 60.6 into 5, so minimum 3 marks and above. So how many students secured 3 and above in the mid mark out of 10 marks for the descriptive test? Based on this threshold value, the target levels are defined like this. So here also I have considered the same 60 to 79 percentage of students who secured more than 3 marks based on the CO question wise mapping. Then 80 to 89 percentage of students who have secured more than 3 marks, then level is 2, then 90 and above, so the level is 3. So like this. So let us assume these are all the sample levels. For mid-exam component 1, combination of objective test plus assignment, then mid-exam 1 descriptive test combination. Okay, now similarly mid 2 also same pattern we have to follow. So then with these target levels, now let us move to end examination. So end examination target levels are different. Why? Because so internal maybe many students secured minimum 60 percentage, but external is not in our hand. That depends on the university evaluation. So by seeing the university average results, so we have to fix the target levels. Suppose here minimum pass percentage is 40%. Let us assume. So you can take plus or minus 10 or 15 to higher to the pass percentage. So now suppose let us here I have taken 50% of students who scored passing marks. So out of 75, 26 are the passing marks. So in the end semester examination, 50% of students secured 26 and above. Then that is the level 1. Then 60% of students scored 26 and above in the end exam. Then the level is 2. Then 70% of students scored 26 and above. So then the level is 3. So it depends on the subject average result. So if your result minimum percentage secured, the minimum pass marks are 60%, let us assume. Then 60 is level 1, then 70 is level 2, then 80 is level 3. Like that we have to customize. So these are all the levels for end examination. Okay, now coming to the direct attainment of a course. So whatever the course we have taken CS 404E, so whatever the CO's mapping, so we discussed the same course is considered. Here course code you have to enter, whatever the course you are considering. As for the direct attainment of the course, the formula is 20% of internal exam attainment level plus 80% of external exam attainment level. Then 0.2 into A1 plus 0.8 into B1. In the table, previous table, we already discussed this formula. Now, as for this, now let us move to the one by one component calculation. So now here first I have taken descriptive test 1. So all the students in my class, so whoever attempted whatever the questions, their marks are entered. In our previous session, I already explained this sample data sheet. So now with this data, now how to calculate that we will see here. So now for descriptive test 1, so here 4 questions are there. The 4 questions related C was also mentioned. So here you can observe, so more than one question may contains same CO also. Why? Because in first unit, first part, you have given 2 questions, let us assume. Then that first part you have defined one common CO. Then all the 2 questions related to that particular first topic matched with CO1 only. So in this, the same case occurred here. For example, here question 1 mapping with CO1. Then question 4 is also mapping with CO1. Then question 2 mapping with CO2. Question 3 is mapping with CO3. Okay, now here as for students attempted marks are given here as per the evaluation. Okay, now here bottom what you have to do. Finally, number of students attempted question 1, that count you have to add as per your class strength. So then number of students attempted question 2, the number of students attempted question 3, number of students attempted question 4. So that count you have to enter here. So then what you have to do, then you have to, as for the threshold value, what we fixed for descriptive test. So here you can see in the descriptive test, you can find out how many students secured level 1, then how many students secured level 2, how many students secured level 3, depends on the percentage. So how to calculate this percentage? Let us see here. So number of students secured greater than threshold mark, that is 60% of respective question wise marks, that is 0.6 into 5, 3. So 3 and above. So how many students secured 3 and above marks in particular question 1? For example, here, so 3 greater than 3 means you can't consider 3. If it is greater than or equal to 3, then 3 also consider. So excluding 3, then above 3 you have to consider, suppose 4, 5, 4, 5, like that. For example, here only I have taken 10 records only for understanding purpose. So out of 10 here, so 8 students secured 3 greater than 3. So here this one and this one is excluded out of 10. So let us assume then 8 are secured. Then the percentage, how to calculate? So number of students secured the threshold satisfying marks divided by total students attempted this question. So now 8 by 10. So here you will get 8 by 10 into 100. So you will get 80%. So now this 80%, now you can go back and check the threshold level. So now where 80% is lies, now here you can see descriptive test. So 80 to 89% students scored more than 3 marks, then that attainment level is 2. So from this table, you can take the level 2. So now here you can see level 2 is taken. For example, then coming to question 2. So question 2 here, total students attempted 4, then all 4 students secured greater than 3 marks. So then here, the number of students attempted is 4, the number of students secured greater than 3 is also 4, then 4 by 4, so into 100, you will get 100%. Now 100% attainment level, let us see here, greater than or equal to 90. So then its attainment level is 3. So the level 3 is taken here. Then similarly, another question, question 3 here, number of students attempted 3, then who secured greater than 3? 2 students, then 2 by 3. So you will get 66.66. Now that 66% lies in which level? Now we can see 60 to 79 for descriptive test, 60 to 79. So here our percentage 66. So we have to consider level 1. Okay, like that. Now next question also here securing 100%, that is level 3. Suppose here common COs, that means one CO is repeated more than once, then you can take average of those attainment values. Now let us here CO1 first question, the attainment value is 2. Then here Q4 also related to CO1. Here the attainment level is 3. Then for CO1, you can take average of these 2 attainment values, 2 plus 3 by 2. So 5 by 2, 2.5. So here we have taken the common CO1 value by taking average of the mapping question values. Then CO2 we are having only 1. So you can take direct value. Then CO3 also we are having only 1. So that means only CO3 mapping with only one particular question. So directly same value you can take. So the level is 1. So now here for descriptive test 1, these are all the CO1 attainment value, then CO2 attainment value, then CO3 attainment value. Similarly, you have to do for descriptive test 2 also. Here you have to remember one point. So generally the syllabus consisting of 5 units distribution. So the first midterm consisting of first 2.5 units. So first 2.5 units generally mapping with first 1, 2, 3 COs or 1, 2 COs. That depends on the COs defined by you. Then mid to the remaining latter part of the syllabus, last 2.5 units. So last 2.5 units, other COs are there. Maybe sometimes one CO mapping with second unit, third unit first part, even same CO mapping with the third unit second part also, even for mid to also. At that time, you can take the average. So in descriptive test 1, whatever the CO value you obtain, then descriptive test 2, whatever the CO value you have obtained, then you can take average of these 2. So like that we have to consider. Now here descriptive test 2.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
CO average attainment 2.5. How you got it?
Sir, here question 1, CO1, the attainment value is 2. Then same question 1 mapping to question 4 also. The last one here you can see, sir. Here the value is 3. Yeah, 2 plus 3 by 2.
Then that way you got it. Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir. Average, sir.
Yeah, understood.
Why? Because same CO mapping with more than one question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Then coming to descriptive test 2. So descriptive test 2. So here the COs are different. Here you can see. So question 1 mapping with CO4, question 2 also mapping with CO4, then question 3 mapping with CO5, question 4 is mapping with CO6. Sometimes this CO3 may be mapping with question 1 also, let us assume. So at the time you have to take the average of descriptive test 1 attainment value and descriptive test 2 attainment value. So here to avoid that confusion, I have taken separate. So here descriptive test mapping with 4, 5, 6 COs. Now here you can see question 1 we have calculated out of the 10 records, total students attempted question 1 is 8. Then number of students secured greater than 3, 7. Then 7 by 8 into 100, you will get 87.5. Now 87.5 comes under which level? You can go back and check the descriptive attainment levels. So 87 comes under in between 80 to 89. So that is level 2. So now here we have taken level 2. So then same question 2 also mapping with CO4. So here you are getting number of students attempted 7. The number of students secured greater than 3 marks 7. So 7 by 7 we are getting 100. So 100 means that is level 3. Then coming to question 3. So here CO5. Here number of students attempted let us assume 3. So then 3 secured. So no, this is wrongly entered. So number of students attempted is different. Then secured is 3. So here we got 70%. So 70% comes under which level? Let us go back and check. So 60 to 79. So that comes to level 1 only. So now here level 1. Similarly, then question number 4. So here you are getting 80%. So here 80% comes under, so 80 to 89 level 2. So now here you can see CO4 is repeated 2 times. Why? Because question 1 is mapping to CO4 and question 2 is also mapping to CO4. Then question 1 attainment value is 2. Then question 2 attainment value is 3. Then 2 plus 3 by 2 average. So you will get 2.5. Then CO5 occur only one time. So directly you can take its value. That is 1. Even CO6 also occurred only once. So directly you can take its value. Now here for descriptive test 2, CO4, CO5, CO6. These are all the attainment values. Okay, now descriptive test 1, test 2 are completed. Then coming to our other component, which is combination of objective test plus assignment. Together there, we can't consider question wise. We will take the overall marks. Based on that, the threshold value we can identify. Now here you can see objective test and assignment. Even external exam marks also included here. Now here you can see objective test plus assignment 1. Total marks you have to consider. So total here student 1 secured 8, 8, 10, 12 and so on out of 15 marks. Then mid 2 also the total marks are there. Now here what you have to do, number of students attempted the mid 1 with objective plus assignment. Let us assume 49 students. Mid 2 also 49. Our class strength is around 50. So let us take whoever attempted. Then here number of students secured greater than threshold marks. Here for objective plus descriptive, what is the threshold mark we have taken out of 15? 60%. So here 9. So here if your subject is difficult, then you may take greater than or equal also. So if it is easy, you can take greater than only. For example, here we consider greater than or equal to 9. So then 9 and above, how many students secured out of 49? Here let us, the count is 33 students secured. Then the percentage of students secured greater than threshold marks, 33 by 49. So you will get 67.34. So now go back and check this attainment levels. So objective plus assignment combination. Here you can see objective plus assignment, 60 to 79 level 1, 80 to 89 level 2, then greater than or equal to 90 level 3. So now here what we secured. So here we secured 67. So now 67 comes under which one? 60 to 79. So that is level 1. So that level 1 we have to consider here, level 1. Similarly, mid 2. So mid 2 total marks, you have to calculate the threshold value. So number of students attempted to mid 2, 49. Then number of students secured greater than or equal to 9 marks, 38. Then 38 by 49. So 77.5%. Now this is also comes under level 1. So even with greater than or equal, so we are getting lowest level. If you can take greater than again, so percentage will be decreased based on the average marks you can consider. So now let us here, then coming to end exam also. So end exam, how to calculate? So end exam question wise marks, we don't know. So only total marks we have to consider, like how we did objective plus assignment. So here 49 students attempted to the end examination. So out of 49 students, how many students secured the pass marks? That is 26 and above. So here you have to go back and check the end exam threshold values. So here end exam, minimum 50% of students secured pass marks, that is 26 and above out of 75 in end exam. Then 60% of students, then level 2, then 70% and above, so level 3. So here end examination average result is, so here 30 students secured 26 and above out of 49 students, then 30 by 49. So here we will get 61.22. The 61 comes under which level? Let us see. 60. So here the level 2, 60% of students. So then level 2 is considered here. So now here in end examination, suppose the marks are grade based. So at that time you can take, so grades are having equivalent grade point value. So for example, here F means 0. So here credits are 0. So wherever credits are 0 means they failed in the end exam. So that we won't consider. So only pass students, only we have to consider. Based on that, this calculation will be done. 30 by 49, 61.2. So then this is level 2. Then here you can observe that end examination is common for both mid exams. I mean, for mid 1 and mid 2. Why? Because the end exam is combination of mid 1 and mid 2 questions. So that's why same common end exam value we have to consider for mid 1 and mid 2 components for calculation purpose. So sometimes suppose you are having question paper. So is there any possibility to identify that questions also mapping with CO wise? Suppose some of the questions mapping with first part of COs, then some of the questions are mapping with second part of CO. So if you are having that data, so you can include in the similar fashion also, like descriptive test 1, descriptive test 2 pattern, but by considering only overall marks, not question wise. So now here you can see now this table. Finally, after obtaining the previous values, now you can fill this table. So in this table, all the calculation part will be done. So now whatever the assessment tool we considered for CO wise according to mid 1, mid 2. So here we can mention. So now here you can see CO1, go back and check the assessment patterns, what we have considered for direct attainment. So here see direct attainment, first objective plus assignment is one component. Then mid exam is another component. I mean, descriptive test is another component. Then third one is end exam. So total 3 rubrics are there here. So that 3 rubrics you have to mention for each and every CO in the computation table. Now you can see CO1 mapping with mid 1, then CO2 mapping with mid 1 syllabus, CO3 also mapping with mid 1, then CO4, 5, 6 are related to mid 2 syllabus. Now you can see for mid 1, what are the components we are having? Objective 1 plus assignment 1, then descriptive test 1. Similarly for CO2 also, same mid 1 related components, objective 1 plus assignment 1, then descriptive test 1. Similarly, CO3 also related to mid 1. Then coming to CO for mid 2, for mid 2 objective 2, then assignment 2, then descriptive test 2, that is related to mid 2. Then CO5 also related to mid 2. We have to consider objective 2 plus assignment 2, then descriptive 2 separately. So then CO6 also same. Now whatever the values we obtained previously, first internal examination attainment values you can include here. Then go back to objective 1 plus assignment 1. First let us see. This is objective plus assignment for mid 1. So now, so what is its attainment value? So why? Because this mid 1 is related to CO1. So here you have to consider level 1. So even let us see for CO2 also related to mid 1. So same level only we have to consider. CO3 also related to mid 1. We have to consider. Why? Because so for mid 1 objective plus descriptive, we have taken all students' marks together So objective plus assignment. So that's why this mid one component value is common for all the mid one related COs. So that's why here we have taken one. See here for CO1 mid one value for objective one plus assignment is 1. Then similarly for CO2 also objective one plus assignment 1 only considered. Then for CO3 mid one objective one plus assignment 1 only considered. So then similarly mid 2 you have to include. For mid 2 attainment level is 1. So for objective 2 plus assignment 2 we have to consider 1 only, the COs related to mid 2. So the COs related to mid 2 are CO4, CO5, CO6. Now for CO4 objective 2 plus assignment 2, here also we are getting level 1. So that's why 1 only considered. Then for CO5 also related to mid 2, objective 2 plus assignment 2, so same level we are getting, that is 1. Then CO6 also related to mid 2, objective 2 plus assignment 2, so we are getting the same level. So now objective plus assignment attainment levels are added here for mid 1 and mid 2 related COs. Then let us go back and find descriptive test attainment levels. Now here you can say descriptive test 1. Here we are having separately CO wise values. Here no problem. Directly you can take. So now in descriptive test 1, CO1 value 2.5 you have to take. Then CO2 you have to take 3. Then CO3 you have to take 1. So 2.5, 3, 1. That you can include in CO 1, 2, 3. Now here you can see for CO1 descriptive 1 2.5, then CO2 descriptive 1 3. So whether it is 3 or whatever, the same value you can consider. So yeah, descriptive test 1 CO2 is 3, then CO3 is 1. Okay, now then descriptive test 1 that is related to CO3, so that is 1. So now similarly for mid to descriptive test attainment levels also you have to take. Now coming to this is descriptive test 2. So for CO4 the attainment value is 2.5, then CO5 1, CO6 1. These values you can include here. Now here you can see CO4 descriptive test 2 2.5 the attainment value, then CO5 the descriptive test attainment value is 1, then CO6 the descriptive test attainment value is 1. Okay, now after listing all these values, now CO wise whatever the components we are having, take average of all the components. So here for CO1 we are having two tools, objective 1 plus assignment 1, then descriptive test 1. So total tools are 2. Now you can take average of these two. The first tool value is 1, then the second tool value is 2.5. Take average 1 plus 2.5 by 2. So here you will get the average attainment level as 1.75. Similarly CO2 objective plus assignment level is 1, then descriptive level is 3. 1 plus 3 by 2. So that is 4 by 2. So you will get 2. This is the average attainment level. Then similarly for CO3, so here 1 plus 1 by 2. So the average is 1. Then CO4 1 plus 2.5 by 2. So here you will get 1.75. Then CO5 1 plus 1 by 2. So you will get 1. So then CO6 1 plus 1 by 2. You will get 1. So these are all the average attainment levels CO wise. So now here we secured internal examination average attainment values. Then coming to end examination attainment level. So for end examination in the previous table, so we considered 2 commonly for all the COs. Why? Because the question paper consisting of all the units combination. So we have taken the total marks for all the students. So based on that, here we secure level 2. So this level is common for all COs. Suppose if you can split by collecting the question paper and by splitting CO wise, so then you can take in the similar fashion objective plus assignment 1, like however you did, like mid 1 related, that is first half syllabus, then second mid related second half syllabus, like that also do if you want. So here I have taken total overall. So here level 2. So commonly this level is applicable for all COs. That's why here I have taken CO1 end exam level is 2. Then CO2 also level 2. CO3 also 2. So all COs I have taken the same level. Okay, now here we got internal examination average attainment level, external examination attainment level. Then as for direct attainment computation, the formula what we discussed previously. So 20% of internal evaluation plus 80% of external evaluation. So the formula is 0.2 into internal evaluation plus 0.8 into external evaluation. So now let us see for CO1, you can apply this formula 0.2 into 1.75 plus 0.8 into 2. So now you can calculate, if you want, you can check it. So you will get this value. So this is the direct CO attainment of CO1. Similarly, for CO2, 0.2 into 2 plus 0.8 into 2. So here you will get 2. Then for CO3, 0.2 into 1 plus 0.8 into 2. So here you will get 1.8. Then for CO4, 0.2 into 1.75 plus 0.8 into 2. So you will get 1.95. Then for CO5, 0.2 into 1 plus 0.8 into 2. So here you will get 1.8. Then CO6 also same values, 0.2 into 1 plus 0.8 into 2. So here you will get 1.8. Now these are all the direct CO attainment final values for each and every CO. CO1 is 1.95, CO2 is 2, then CO3 is 1.8, and so on. CO6 is 1.8. So now here direct CO attainment values are calculated. So now what you have to do, the remaining components are, we have to calculate indirect attainment CO values. Once we know indirect attainment CO values, then you can calculate overall CO attainment as for the formula what we defined. Now coming to computation of CO indirect attainment. This formula we already mentioned in the table. Okay, now let us see the computation of CO indirect attainment in the course, whatever the course we considered. So now the formula is level 1 into number of students attempted. So with the descriptive form, this formula is given. But while calculation level 1 means we have to use one numeric 1 only, 1 into the students count who attempted with level 1 plus level 2 into number of students attempted, that is 2 into the student count, plus level 3 into number of students attempted. So 3 into number of students, the whole divided by total number of students participated in the feedback. So now as for this, the following table, so I have listed the values. Now you can see here total 6 COs are there. Now students answered level 1 with CO1. CO1 number of students attempted with level 1, 2 students. So then CO2 with level 1, 1 student only attempted. Then CO3 with level 2, level 1, 2 students are attempted. CO4 with level 1, only 1 student attempted. CO5, 6 also with level 1, only 1 student attempted. Then coming to number of students answered level 2 CO wise. So CO1 with level 2, 12 students attempted. Then CO2 with level 2, 12 students. CO3 with level 2, 11. So then CO4, 10. Then CO5, 11. Then CO6, 12. Then coming to level 3. So CO1 attempted with level 3, 19 students. Then CO2 with level 3, 20 students. Then CO3 with level 3, 20. Then CO4 with level 3, 22. Then CO5 with level 3, 21. Then CO6 with level 3, 20. Okay, so like that. So from the Excel sheet, the responses taken from the students. So we have filtered and taken this count based on the level 1, 2, 3. Then total students participated. So out of 49 or 40, so 30 students are participated. That's why if more students participated, so you will get a higher value. So now how to calculate by substituting these values in the above formula. First, let us take CO1. So CO1 level 1. So that is 1 into number of students attempted with level 1, 2. So 1 into 2 plus then level 2, that is 2 into number of students attempted with the level 2, 12 students, that is 2 into 12 plus then level 3, 3 into how many students attempted with level 3 for CO1, 19. So 3 into 19 whole divided by the total number of students, so 33. Even if you can take x plus y plus z also, will get the same count. Now after simplifying this one, so here what you will get with this above formula, you will get 2.52. Similarly for CO2 also, you can substitute these values 1 into 1 plus 2 into 12 plus 3 into 20 whole divided by 33. So you will get 2.58. Then CO3 also 1 into 2 plus 2 into 11 plus 3 into 20 whole divided by 33. So then this is the value we obtained, 2.55. So if you want, you can cross check by taking these values. So then CO4 also 1 into 1 plus 2 into 10 plus 3 into 22. So whole divided by 33. Here we will get 2.64. Then CO5 1 into 1 plus 2 into 11 plus 3 into 21 whole divided by 33. Here we will get 2.61. Then CO6 1 into 1 plus 2 into 12 plus 3 into 20 whole divided by 33. So you will get 2.58. So now these are all the indirect attainment CO values. CO wise, CO 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now in the previous table, we obtained direct CO attainment values. Then here we obtained indirect CO attainment values. Now, as for the overall CO attainment formula, so what we have taken 90% weightage for direct attainment value plus 10% of indirect attainment value. Then 0.9 into direct attainment value plus 0.1 into indirect attainment value. For each and every CO, you have to apply this formula. Now, let us see. CO overall attainment equal to 90% of direct CO attainment plus 10% of indirect CO attainment. Now, for this, the following table is used for computation. So, direct CO attainment level. So, we have to taken from the direct attainment CO table. So, CO1 1.95, CO2 2, then CO3 1.8, CO4 1.95, and so on. CO6 1.8. Same values you can include here. Here you can include direct CO attainment levels. Then similarly, indirect CO attainment levels obtained previously in the feedback evaluation. So CO1 is 2.52. So here we have taken 2.52, CO2 2.58, then 2.55, and so on 2.58. The same values are taken. Now you can substitute these values in this formula to obtain overall CO attainment value. The formula is 0.9 into direct attainment plus 0.1 into indirect attainment. Now 0.9 into 1.95 plus 0.1 into 2.52. So if you can calculate using these values, then you will get 2.01. This is the overall CO attainment value for CO1. Then next CO2 0.9 into 2 plus 0.1 into 2.58. Now after simplifying, you will get 2.06. Then for CO3 0.9 into 1.8 plus 0.1 into 2.55, you will get 1.88. So you can copy all these tables along with formula in Excel. That directly once you can write this formula, so you will get direct values. Then CO5 0.9 into 1.8 plus 0.1 into 2.61. Here you will get 1.88. So then CO6 0.9 into 1.8 plus 0.1 into 2.58, 1.88. So here I have rounded with 2 decimal points. So that's why the nearest value is taken here. So now these are all the individual CO overall attainment values. So now you have to take average of all these CO's overall CO attainment. Then you will get that particular course average CO attainment value. So whatever the course we considered CS404E, so that particular course overall CO attainment is by taking average of individual CO overall attainments, 2.01 plus 2.06 and so on, whole divided by total how many CO? 6. So you will get 1.95. So this is the overall CO attainment value. So with this value, now later we can compute PO and PSO attainment of this particular course. Okay, now for every course, like we have to compute this overall CO attainment value, then we have to list out all the COs. Before that, now we have to define the corrective measures. Now here what we obtain. So for every CO or PO, the target level means 100%, that is satisfaction level 3. So your attained value every time you have to compare with level 3. So based on that, you can provide corrective measures. So here no CO secured 3. So all are less than 3 only. So that's why here 100%. So attainment is not achieved. So for this now, for improvement purpose, for the coming semesters, the same course studied by the new batch. So at that time, what are the improvement measures we have to consider to improve this attainment values? So those can be represented in corrective measures. So for example, in this course here, see, this is the action plan or corrective measures for this course CO wise. Here you have taken this format. CO1, its attainment value what we obtained. CO1 2.01, then CO2 2.06. What you obtained, all values you have to take as it is. So now here we didn't secure 100%. So that's why here we have to mention, suppose CO1 that is related to some engineering knowledge. So to improve CO1, so what are the action plans? Suppose some makeup or bridge classes for that particular chapter related to CO1 we have to conduct. Then for some critical topics we have to provide some assignments. Then for university question papers we have to provide solutions related to questions mapping with CO1. So like that, just some samples are taken. So you may propose even different actions also, depends on your institution methodologies for makeup related, like remedial classes, bridge classes. So whatever practicing tests, whatever the methodologies you are following, those you can measure. Then similarly for CO2 also, similar points. For some COs, only few are included. Then for some COs, all are included, like that. Like that, you have to provide action plan for COs with the corrective measures. Okay, now next semester, suppose next year, first or second semester, the new batch students, so studying the same course in the same curriculum, let us assume. So then these you need to incorporate by keeping all these CO attainment values. Then compulsory improvement will be added, so that you can project. So how the improvement will be done means, so last batch, so and so course, these are all the CO values. Now next batch, so the CO values are increased. Like that we have to propose. Okay, then coming to the overall attainment values for all the courses. So if it is 2 years post graduation course, or if it is 3 years undergraduate course, or 4 years undergraduate course, all the courses we have to take from first year to last year, so including all semesters. Then you have to take the overall average CO attainment what we obtain, like for every course. Now let us see here, this is 1.95 for CS 404. So then, so wherever that course, if it is in first year or second year or third year level, so you can take that value. So for example, here 404, this will come in second year, second semester value. So that value will be added here. So like every individual faculty, after doing the overall course attainment, then only we will list all the CO attainment values of all the courses here. So these are all the CO attainment values of all the courses. The sample table I have taken by showing all the courses of that particular program. Maybe suppose here what I have taken, this program is a BTech Computer Science and Engineering program. So for that program, 4 years with semester wise, first year first sem, first year second sem, second year first sem, second year second sem, and so on, fourth year second semester. For all the courses, including labs, including project work, including seminar, including comprehensive, including non-credit courses. So all the CO values are listed here. So this is the attainment of course outcomes for a particular course, then listing the results of attainment of all the courses of that particular program. So now with these CO values, now we can continue with calculation of program outcomes and program specific outcomes attainment value, that we will discuss in next session.